Oh, Friday morning. I'll be glad when this day's over with. What are you doing? Look. Oh my God, it's nut. Oh Lord. It's going to be one of those days, guys. I am tired. I am tired.
You goofy when I'm tired too.
Well.
Fun this is going to be for you.
Yeah.
Did you call the restaurant?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh. Good morning, guys. Or should I say good Friday? Oh, wait a minute. Let me get there. You go.
TGI.
Good Friday morning, guys. It has been a week, let me tell you.
Yes.
I've run the gamut of business highs and business lows and all this kind of stuff, and I'll just say this, I'll be glad when this day's over. But in the meantime, we're going to get you some good footage. I'm going to do something a little bit different. Today's not going to be a mowing video. Today's going to be I guess you could say it's going to be a how to trim bushes in extenuating circumstances and hard to get to areas. I hope you guys stick around. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you will like and subscribe and consider sticking around. This is Brian and this is my son Nate, and you're watching So we're about to pull out the shop and go get this day started. Now here's the deal. We're getting started late this morning. I'm self-employed. I start when I want to. A lot of times I start when I need to. But on Fridays, I kind of try to take it easy. And we've got 4 big bushes to trim. And then we've got the commercial property to do that we've got to do. And we're just going to kind of slide through the day. The bad part is it's already 77 degrees at 9:48 in the morning. So today's going to be a hot one. So anyway, we're going to get there. We're going to get you set up and try to get you some good footage. Hope you stick around. All right, boys and girls, we are on the job. And this thing's what I got to cut on this side. I got 2 on the other side. We're going to start at the back first because this is the main line of traffic during the week, and I'm going to go ahead and get this done so we don't interfere with traffic coming in and out later. But in case you don't know what this is, let me get the camera. See if I can get it off the tripod without being so disturbing. This is a Wax Myrtle. You can see the new growth on it right there. And last year, actually last fall, I cut this rascal down to where it wasn't nothing but stobs. And this is how much it's grown out. So we got to get this cut. Let me get there's Clifford and Leonard. Pan out and let you see how big this thing is. Nate, go out there and stand up next to that thing on the ground. No, get up on the high side. Now Nate is 5'11", and that tells you how big that bush is. So that gives you an idea of what we're fixing to do. She's fixing to come down. Matter of fact, that bush is so big I can barely get it in the frame, and I'm probably 25 feet away from it. good thing about these bushes, who are my kids? There ain't nothing good about these bushes. Yeah, the truth is welcome in heaven. Now, you saw how much I've already cut off of this bush. Let me show you from the side. You see all that on the ground? Don't tell me you got to take a Schmedley.
Yeah, what's up with the nut? Right.
You hit yourself in the misters? But anyway, you see all this. Look in the garbage can what he's already put in there. And then look at all this stuff. Now, this tells you how much this thing has grown. Look at that. I ain't even got a halfway across the top of that bush. That's how much them things grow in about, oh, I don't know, 3 to 4 months. I'm not saying anything until I know I'm in the shot. Pro tip: when you're working in a place like area like that, make sure you check for snakes, because Mr. Nutlegs could be sitting in there and you'd never know it. So keep your eyes peeled when you're working in areas like this. Let me get the camera adjusted right here. Now, let me show you an easy way to do that where you don't create such a mess. Open the lid. Put that rascal down like that and just right in there.
Could have left that.
What?
Could have left that.
I thought you knew.
No. What I got to do?
There's a 4-letter word for that. It's called move.
Get up! Move faster!
Oh. Shit.
Go grab the blower and blow all this stuff out. This is a 90-gallon trash can. 90 gallons, and it's more than 3/4 of the way full with one bush. And it's heavy too. Now this is what it looks like now. The shape is a little bit wonky, but that's the way it's cut. Underneath, you can't get any lower. You can't make it flat on top, and it's weird shaped. And we're on the other side now. You gonna get the okay?
No. No. Hey, I'm just trying to get this leg out.
Oh,
So, honey,
get the leg out, not the lid. Go ahead and get the let the tailgate down. You nut. And go ahead and get the tailgate down on the trailer. And get the can down, and then get the rates.
Okay.
All right, this is what we got to do here. It's about the same size, but it doesn't show as much growth. This is another one I cut down. And I mean, when I say I cut it down, I cut it like you cut a crepe myrtle. And I cut this one in March, and here it is June, and it's already grown out this much. And then there's that one. So at least we got a little, well, the camera's got some shade to work to see it in. I don't. But here's the interesting part of this. You see how far inside that petition that bush is? I'm gonna have to have a specialty ladder to get to this one when I get to the top, and I'll show that to you when we get there, when we get to that point. But anyway, I've only featured this ladder on my channel one time. I bought it for a specific job. I bought it when I had my short, I don't even remember what the number was on that hedge trimmer, but I bought this ladder when I had it, and then I bought that long articulating one. But this ladder still comes in handy from time to time. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Y'all ain't gonna believe what Nate's doing, what Nate's trying to do. What are you doing? Son, you can't see where you're going. Oh my Lord. Yeah, that could have been ugly. Things that 18-year-olds do. Rip, dude, that ain't gonna work. Oh my gosh. Guys, I try to teach him, I promise. I try to teach him. Oh. This one's gonna look like a mushroom when I get through with it. Guys, I've never did a review video on this hedge trimmer. This is the HL94 and it's got the articulating head on it. Okay, okay. I like this hedge trimmer. Oh, wouldn't you just know? The AC would kick on. I hope you guys can hear me. I like this hedge trimmer. Save two things. Number one, it is heavy as lead. It's very cumbersome because of that. And when you get in tight places, or even when not even tight places, when you get in a situation where you have to do a lot of finesse trimming, which is what you see me doing on these bushes, taking a little bit off at the time. The reason I'm doing that is because we have a 90-gallon garbage can we're putting all this stuff in. Well, small stuff fits way better and way more compact than big long pieces. So that's why I'm doing it that way. But anyway, this thing gets heavy quick. And, you know, it is what it is, but it does get heavy. The other thing I do not like, and I hope that I'm going to tag Stihl in this. I hope somebody from Stihl will see this. They have the throttle design where you can set the throttle where it won't rev up but just so high. Well, let me give you a demonstration in case you haven't seen it. All right, this is wide open throttle. You hear that? Now, I'm going to turn this wheel. I'm going to turn it back some, like that. And it's still wide open throttle. Now you turn a little bit more. See that? Now let me turn a little bit more. Now, I don't know why Stihl thought that was a good idea. I can understand that on a string trimmer, but on a hedge trimmer, you need all the speed, all the torque, and all the power you can get readily available at your hands. Why they chose to put this on a hedge trimmer and not a throttle lock where you can lock it wide open, where you don't have to constantly have your finger on the throttle, I'll never know. But still, if anybody at your corporation sees this, this is something y'all need to change. Because when the main reason you can't do a lot of hedge trimming, let's see, I can't even figure out which way it's supposed to go. There we go. When you're trimming hedges in awkward places like this, the last thing you want to have to do is have to keep your finger on the throttle at all times. You need to put a throttle lock on these machines where leave this on here. If the user wants to not run it so fast and wide open throttle, but still lock the throttle in position, they can. This machine does not have that. And that's the one thing that's the two things I don't like about it. Number one is it's heavy. It is what it is with that because the machine is built the way it's supposed to be built, but it's heavy. But the throttle lock, that is something y'all need to change. Y'all need to address and put a throttle lock on this thing. Leave the adjustment wheel on, the throttle adjustment wheel on it. If you're doing finesse, real small tender bushes, you can idle it or you can set the throttle where you want it, but you can still lock it in place. That way, if you need to grab it like this or like this, you don't have to constantly have your finger on the throttle. So that's just something I wanted to address in this video, being that this is the featured piece of equipment, and there's something I really don't like about this hedge trimmer. So there you go. You about got it, Nate?
No.
I mean, are you done?
No. I tried to bring this thing up here and break it into this thing, but I can't get any done.
Well, rake it up in the pile and put it right there. Guys, I know I'm not in the shop right this second, but I'm gonna get as much of this as I can without having to have a ladder. But first, I gotta get my hearing protection back on. Guys, I don't know what happened, but the camera cut off while I was trimming this, so I didn't get any of that footage. I don't know why, but it did. But if you remember correctly, the growth on this bush at this side was way over the edge of this brickwork, and I've got it back that far. I'm not going to take it back any further because I don't want it to be just nothing but sticks. But one thing I did want to show you was there's HVAC systems back here, and I have to keep this cut. That's the main reason I'm cutting this, because I don't want it to get overgrown into the gated area. And these things are hard to keep control of. But anyway, I'll get you set up out here behind me, and you can watch me finish up. So Nate's finishing up clean up. You remember how big this bush was and how big that one was? That's what they look like now. I cut them back as far as I did because they grow so stinking fast. If you don't cut them, huh?
Help me.
If you don't cut them back, you'll have to cut them again in about 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm gonna help Nate get cleaned up, and we'll show you what the finished product looks like. All right, y'all. Nate's down there blowing all that excess clippings and stuff out. This is what it looks like. These things are a booger to trim, not because of the type of bush they are, but where they're located. You have to move 3 or 4 different times to be able to get all of it because they're so wide across. But anyway, yeah, that's it. We're back in the truck. We finally got it finished, guys. It took us an hour and a half to trim those bushes. I know you didn't see that much, and it was sped up a little bit, but yeah, it took an hour and a half to trim 4 bushes. Now, was it that hard? No, but the areas in which you're trimming with those cages and stuff around it, you can't, it's not like you can just walk all the way around the bush and trim it, then get on the ladder and shape the top of it and you're done. Those bushes, I literally almost detest having to trim because of where they are. So anyway, I'm gonna get part and we're gonna get started. I'm not gonna film anything, the cutting and edging and all that kind of stuff. That's not what this video was about. But anyway, if you stuck with me to this point, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. This is Brian and Nate with Big South Outdoors TV, reminding you to live big, live southern, and live outdoors. Until the next time, folks, have a good one.